How desperate are you? How desperate do any of you? Right, Bob?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. As most of you saw when you walked in, we are asking that you please shut your phones to vibrate or shut them off. That includes your smart wristwatches. We also have a basket to place your cell phones in.
You want us to put them in there?
If you want.
If we want, we don't have to. Oh my.
Alrighty.
Have your cell phone off.
Got it to the meeting and I
Brought your own
to
seat.
see you. Nice. I can't sit.
I tried. Okay. Before we get officially started, if you guys have any questions, concerns, please don't be afraid to ask. If it's not something that we can answer, we will have Rita come in at the end of the presentation, so she will be able to answer any questions that you may also have. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll introduce ourselves, just in case any of you don't know. I'm Victoria Tyson. I've been with Dundee County Hospital for 7 years next month. The last 2 of those, I've been in the business office as the clinic biller. Before that, I was an office assistant over in the clinic itself.
I'm Carrie Yurkowski. I work in therapy. I've worked for the hospital a little over 12 years. I've worked in therapy a little over 10.
I'm Bob Clark. I work in dietary. I've been with the hospital a little over 6 years.
With that, we'd like to welcome you to Year 3 Win Initiative Training. Can anybody tell me what's going on with this year's training? Besides Courtney. Anybody? We have a new name. The last 2 years, we were formerly known as the Service Excellence Program. We are now known as the Win Initiative Program. What does that mean? The last 2 years, we had someone come in and do the program for us. This year, as a hospital, we as the employees are now 100% in charge of the training, the materials, everything. So using uncopyrighted material from the last couple of years is what we built or used ideas to build this year's program. It lets us be a little bit more flexible, creative in what we get to teach you guys. As in years past, they had strict, this is what you're teaching, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Also, a new thing that we want to make you guys aware of, this year, with the new program, you will be required to attend 3 60 to 90 minute training sessions that are spanned out over the next coming years, where last 2, you're only required to attend 1 3-hour training session. So the next one will be roughly February, March. Your last one will be roughly August, September. So please be aware of that. You're also on the lookout for those coming dates. With this year's training, we hope to go from acting like this little girl to acting like this little guy. Can anybody tell me what the WIN Initiative stands for?
What's important now?
That's correct.
How did you know that? Go, Courtney.
Go for it.
What's important now? With this new program, there are 3 branches that make it up. They include the council, the boosters, and the coaches. Today we're going to go ahead and we're going to break those groups down a little bit further and explain what some of their roles are for the program. First up, we have your WIN Council. Just in case there's anyone up here you don't know, we have Jody, hospital nursing. You don't have to help me again. Jen, physical therapy. Dr. Lori is one of our medical providers. Sarah is in the business office. Rita is administration. Peg is clinic. Jessie is speech therapy. Sandy is administration. Trista is hospital nursing. Ashley Knapp is hospital reception. Courtney, hospital nursing. Ashley Toft is medical records. Lakin is director of nursing. Heather is radiology. Dr. Garcia is one of our medical providers. And we have Karen in the lab. responsibilities include. Want to start?
Cassidy?
Cassidy?
To just read it?
Yep.
To implement, monitor, and integrate the WIN initiative into our activities.
Heads up. Trista, you can read that?
With direction from the executive committee, we are expected to create and maintain a culture of continuously improved patient and patient-friendly and employee satisfaction by doing the following.
Courtney?
To provide leadership to become an employer and provider of choice.
Ensure annual accountability agreements are established and monitored. Nominate and approve the selection of coaches each year.
Provide updates to the annual WIN workshop workbook.
Promote and monitor mandatory attendance at all WIN trainings for leaders, coaches, and frontline employees.
Provide high-level oversight of the organization's overall service performance in relation to its established goals.
Pick up your data, Cassidy.
Ensure consistent utilization or other strategies to monitor. Reports from monthly interview meetings to obtain feedback and provide education to coaches and boosters.
Collectively discuss and complete the leadership performance to report progress and future plans to address areas of concern.
Plan and coordinate opportunities to recognize accomplishments made through the WIN workshops and UATs.
And the last one, Melissa?
Maintain an organizational service recovery policy.
As you can see, the reason why your WIN council is so big is they actually have quite a few responsibilities. The list that we just done today is actually a small fraction of what they do for your WIN council. They also each hold a certain position on the WIN council. We didn't go over that today, so if you're interested, we do have that information available. Next up is your WIN boosters. We have Brett, respiratory therapy, Ardeana, hospital nursing, Vince, maintenance, Tina, medical records, Tanya, patient portal, Pam, hospital nursing, Kelly, radiology, and June in the business office. You'll notice this group is your coaches from the last couple of years. Their responsibilities include, where did I leave off?
Recommend, nominate new coaches.
Boosters are encouraged to recommend coach candidates to their managers.
Coach and or teach with a coach teaching team.
Encourage and provide support about the WIN council. Provide feedback and suggestions to develop presentation skills.
Sorry.
Coach do it teams.
You're like 3 behind,
Monitor and provide advice about the UA process.
Yeah.
Conduct DO-IT audits to increase their effectiveness in resolving customer dissatisfaction.
This group has been really, they've stepped forward this year and helped us, coaches. They've helped us get ideas together to put this training together, so if you see them, the button's not working, sorry. Your next group is your WIN coaches. You'll notice it's the 3 of us standing in front of you. There's also Brandon from housekeeping, dietary, and Scott from purchasing. They make up the other team along with Terry. Terry has been awesome. She has agreed to help both groups this year in doing the presentation, so thank you, Terry. You may have not gotten them this time. You may get them next time. You never know. As WIN coaches, we are, where did I leave off again? Sorry.
Chosen for our attitudes, customer commitment, loyalty, talent, and potential.
Supported, coached, and empowered by the entire management team.
An invaluable frontline leadership resource.
Your aim's not very
You
good
didn't catch
today
with your
there.
dominant hand.
As I stated at the beginning beginning of the training. This is all new to us, so we are still learning as we go, so we ask you, please bear with us. We're getting there. As coaches, we provide your WIN training, which of course is what you're doing right now. Act as positive role models, not only through our hospital, but throughout our community. Recruit peers for future coach positions, which means we'll be looking to you as hospital employees to be filling our spots next year. We also act as liaison for communication with management. So if you have any questions, concerns at any time, please don't be afraid to bring them to us. We'll take them to the correct people they need to go to, and we'll get it sorted out for you.
Doesn't that kind of break the chain of command?
Questions about when.
About when.
Oh, okay. I was like, Bob with a nursing problem.
Well, I don't think I want that kind of question.
No, questions about when.
Okay.
Like, this isn't making sense.
Sorry, should specify that. As coaches, we believe that we are mainly here for you as hospital employees to make your job one that you look forward to coming to work every day, make it a positive experience. But more importantly, we as hospital employees are here for our patients to make their experiences, their families' experiences, one that's positive. Because without our patients, there is no hospital, there is no us. Do you guys have any questions, concerns at this time? Okay, with that, I'll hand things over to Terry.
Does everybody in the hospital do the WIN,
Yes.
even the providers?
Yes.
Okay.
You are all as hospital employees required. It is mandatory.
Well, that's good.
Every one of our providers have already been through the training.
Oh.
So, which there's only one left, so. Today we are going to talk about reverence. Reverence is one of our 4 main core values that us as the hospital has established. Can anybody tell me what reverence is?
A big word.
Ashley, read me reverence.
This value, hold on, I gotta collect myself. This value reflects a profound spirit of awe and respect for all creation that shapes our relationship to self, one another, and to spiritual consciousness. It calls us to trust all that has been given to us. We need to respect and welcome diversity, work with a collaborative spirit, recognize the spiritual and healing nature of our work, and take care of the resources entrusted to us.
That is a huge definition.
For a huge word.
For a huge word. We have been talking about reverence for the past year in Huddle. People have been reading it, but I don't think anybody stopped to really comprehend what reverence is. Plain and simple, reverence. Courtney.
Honor or respect that is felt for or shown to someone or something.
Something that we as hospital employees should do absolutely every day, no matter what. Some examples of reverence that we came up with was look at the person when you're talking to them. Eye contact means a lot. But not only eye contact, your face will say a lot about you. If you're smiling, you come across as happy or easy to talk to. If you're not, you come across as somebody that somebody doesn't want to talk to. If you see somebody struggling, ask them if they need help. If they're carrying too many boxes and can't get through the door, help them out.
Yeah, just
Respect your fellow coworkers. Do not talk down to them. You don't know what they're after. They don't know what you're after. Together, we have to be a team. What are some examples you guys can give me for reference? Trista.
Are those all examples of reverence?
Yes.
Positive attitudes? Did we already say that? No.
Cerise.
being sincere.
Heidi? How would you show respect for somebody? What is an example of your daily work that you would show respect?
being nice.
Cassidy?
Being courteous.
Anybody else? Anybody have one that's just jumping at them?
Being humble.
Good one. You're the first one to say that.
Being reliable and good communication.
I'm not riding sideways again.
Okay. And through working, everybody's been here for a while now. What are some examples that you guys have dealt with the opposite of reverence? What's happened in your daily lives? What do we as a hospital need to work at?
Being positive about certain tasks given to us.
Providers taking care of their patients adequately.
Not always looking for the things that people are doing wrong, just looking for the things that people are doing wrong. Yeah.
Promote the good along with the bad.
Like stop looking at all of the bad, just like looking, call out and looking bad things, so.
Alyssa, do you have any?
I think we need to stop. I think we need to stop placing departments against each other.
That's a very good one.
You say bad communication. Yeah.
So we all see things that we need to work on, and I think it's our personal responsibility to work on those. Not nursing always does this, or dietary always does this. We need to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Hold ourselves accountable.
The 7 C's. Does anybody know, besides our council members, what the 7 C's are?
The Mediterranean Sea.
You'd be surprised, they say all that, every group.
Some was going Pacific and other things like that, and we're like, no, those are oceans. They are code, clarity, consistency, coaching, celebration, conflict, and creativity. I'm sure you guys could think of a few more C's that work for the hospital, but those C's should fit into these. By us using these 7 C's, we hope to become the best team possible to make this hospital work. On that, we are going to do a little team building exercise. Please break up into groups of 2.
Found a prehistoric virus preserved in the permafrost and isolated it for study. After a late night working, you're just closing up the lab when a sudden earthquake hits and knocks out the power. As the emergency generators kick in, an alarm confirms your worst fears. All the sample vials have broken. The virus is contained for now, but unless you can destroy it, the vents will soon open and unleash a deadly airborne plague. Without hesitation, you grab your hazmat suit and get ready to save the world.
We said that's Vince.
The lab is a 4x4 compound of 16 rooms, with an entrance at the northwest corner and an exit at the southeast. Each room is connected to the adjacent ones by an airlock, and the virus has been released in every room except the entrance. To destroy it, you must enter each contaminated room and pull its emergency self-destruct switch. But there's a catch. Because the security system is on lockdown, once you enter a contaminated room, you can't exit without activating the switch. And once you've done so, you won't be able to go back into paper. But nothing can seem to get you to the exit without missing at least one room. So how can you destroy the virus in every contaminated room and survive to tell the story?
Okay. We're gonna break up into groups of 2. We did draw the diagram back on there for you guys. Let's see how many teams can come up with the answer. You must start here and you must exit here.
Got it.
Got it.
Okay. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes, so keep it. Share amongst your party. Which one did you mix? Which one did you mix? You need a piece of paper?
Move, Mom.
We can't see.
We can't see the
Thank you.
diagram.
Well, open your eyes. Can't be in here
Need a
sleeping.
paper? You got some paper?
For what?
Just to draw it out, sketch it out. Crystal? Okay.
Good.
Oh, you could, no. You do this way. Oh. I'm confusing myself. No, you're right. No, you're right. It's raising my mind. Yeah, put it on paper. Yeah, so it's 2 points. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, Cassie.
So can you re-enter the start room since it's not contaminated?
As long as it's not
Look at you.
contaminated.
I
was
did
with
too.
you. I was totally with you.
No, I was. 1, 2, 3. Well, I have a feeling I'm gonna be dead in this one. Just saying, not enough coffee.
I was like,
I would get my directions confused.
yeah, so we're going to and then shut down.
Oh.
I love watching the light bulbs go off.
The lamps broke.
Yep. You would just continue with this room, but you can shut it off.
No, I think I'm going back into a room again.
There are 8 possible answers.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't had freaking one of them yet.
Is one of them calling in before that happens and not going for it to happen?
This is why I love to come to these meetings, Therese.
This would fit in with your stuff, wouldn't it, maybe?
I'd be dead already, so.
We'll give you guys a couple more minutes and you guys can show us your answers.
Make that noise.
Sorry.
entertaining.
Me, I'd probably be
I was thinking of Pac-Man. Pac-Man.
What?
Well, I was thinking of Pac-Man. It's like Pac-Man, and it's like, no, That's just my excuse.
Okay, does everybody have the answer?
No.
Make me feel stupid.
Cerise, come pick a marker and.
No, I don't
Show
have the
me.
answer.
Oh.
Like, cause I keep going back into a room.
Alyssa has the answer.
I know she does, so I was hoping a couple of them did.
Oh.
Anybody besides Alyssa have it?
Ashley has it.
We have two.
Alyssa, come show me your answer.
Don't steal mine. I have a backup if you steal it.
Any color you want.
So as we start here, you can go down into this one. Then if you're contaminated, you can go back to this one, lock it down, over it down, over it.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Good job. Ashley.
Okay.
Woo! Good job.
So, I'm thinking, you want both of
I'm
my
shocked.
answers? Because Cassidy and I got 2 answers.
What?
Okay, so we're gonna start here, and then we're gonna run as fast as we can over here, and then we're gonna shut him down, come back here, shut him down, come back here, shut him down, come into here, make sure no one entered there, shut him down, shut him down, shut him down.
Oh, wrong. You failed.
You can't.
Once you
through those
enter a
rooms.
room, you have to shut it down.
But
So
I
you
did
couldn't-
shut him down.
But you couldn't run all the way through without shutting down.
Well, he
Open the door unless you pull the lever.
Okay, so what's your other one?
Well, that was my other one. Because I was gonna go run down here, and then over here, and up here, and over here, and up here.
No.
So the A+ goes to Alyssa.
Cassidy, you should have been paying attention to the directions.
Okay. We can pause now for a short break if you guys like. If you guys need to use the restroom, need to get a drink,
We're good.
Power
want to just roll through.
Just get the.
I like your style.
What were the other 7 answers?
Just different routes that you could take. So like you could go here and back,
Opposite.
just different routes. There's 8 different ways you could do.
The main point was though, is you come back.
You have to go in and then back. That's your kicker. Whether you start here and go back or start here and go back.
You know what? It's the
Well,
freaking
I'm obviously
thing.
lazy because not what I think about having to go back
Details.
or my going in.
Details.
Okay, so today's training, out of the 7 C's, we are going to focus on code, clarity, and consistency. Code. Alyssa, would you read me code?
The process of hiring, firing, and managing performance that honor a standard of behaviors. This is an organization's culture and set a standard that all employees should live up to.
We thought that the best places that you guys could probably find code is in the employee handbook and our rules and regulations book. Every department should have one of these. There's also an extra in Sandy's office and in the mailroom. We had to go over them a lot when we were first hired. Those of us that's been here for years and years, we haven't seen them for a while. Sandy does update them periodically as new rules and regulations are passed. But if you guys need help finding them, let us know. We'll help you locate your rules and regulations. What are some examples you guys can come up with code? It doesn't have to be that specific. It can be simpler. Wearing your name badge. We're supposed to wear name badges every day. You're not technically working the floor, you're okay. I mean, basic.
Following the dress code.
Who else has one? Who wants chocolate?
Well, I can't catch it, so I'm out.
No tobacco use.
They say that they used to years ago, and when they tore out the old nurses' station, you still found cigarette butts that were shoved back behind, and I've been here a long time.
Be responsible for your job and other
Actions or lack thereof.
yeah.
It can go to what we talked about earlier too. Your personal code, what you hold yourself accountable for. You want to be treated as a higher standard, hold yourself to a higher standard. Do the job to the best of your ability. On that, I'm going to give it to Bob, and he'll teach you about clarity.
Clarity. Goals that are set, achieved, and in line with the mission, vision, and values of our organization. Clarity is power. The more clear you are about exactly what it is you want, the easier it is for your brain to know how to get there. Examples of clarity. So here's some of our examples. Define our mission and vision. No organization is successful without involvement from the board, leaders, and frontline staff. Transparency is the key. Leave it in the past. It is not part of our future. Q-tip. Does anybody know what Q-tip stands for?
Quit taking it personally.
I was going to say quit tripping important people.
Works. Take all the fun out of that.
It's lost, it's lost.
I got it.
For examples of clarity.
Yeah. What examples do you guys have for clarity?
All I can think of is quit tripping important people.
We are very clear that's not what we should do.
Being clear on what you want.
One class brought up when it was a provider that said they like it when they say, Trista, go give this IV to this patient at this time. You to look at them and say, I will give this IV to this patient at this time. So you repeated exactly what they said so that you both knew you were on the same page.
Not to like whatever, but when we receive an order, that's what we're supposed to do.
Supposed to do.
You could use it in other
Aspects.
Yeah, like
you guys are mostly nurses, right? Sorry.
if I was talking to Terry about a patient
Going
needing
for a walk.
physical therapy, and she would repeat back like what I said to her, just like they're not moving very well, or it hurts when they turn. Or,
The right hip hurts when you
Yeah.
stand pivotum. Okay, the right hip hurts when I stand pivotum. I will make sure I tell Trevor that before he sees them.
Okay, how's
Here you go, Cerise.
Like,
You caught it!
with my left hand, I just yeah. I can catch.
Just not what Bob does.
Anybody else have any example? Consistency. Krista, can you read that one?
Proactive behavior done on a regular basis to promote a desired outcome. Eliminate surprises.
Ashley?
streamlines decisions.
Heidi?
Reduces errors.
Sharice?
Improves the customer experience. HCAP scores.
More efficient.
Examples for establishing consistency.
We do those meetings like every Wednesday or something like that.
Team huddles.
Yes, team huddles, and that helps to have everybody on the same page.
I think you are the first one in all these groups to bring up team huddles.
Nice.
Or morning huddles, morning, whatever it's called. What is it called? Morning huddles. Morning huddles.
The stuff that nursing doesn't get to go to
We
usually
typically
ever.
say cuddles, morning cuddles, that's where it's off.
One thing that was brought up was between nursing and housekeeping. When a room is dirty, nursing will put a little yellow piece of paper up that tells housekeeping they need to clean the room. When housekeeping goes and cleans the room, they hang up a green one. And that lets you guys know that the room's ready to be made and you can admit another patient into it. And you guys don't have to hunt each other down. You don't have to make sure that they're doing their job. That yellow or green piece of paper is all that you guys need.
Anybody else?
Capture Falls team, I guess. If going, putting yellow socks on a patient means they're fall risk, so they should have a gate belt and somebody with them when they move and alarms.
Anybody else? Alyssa, can you read that for me?
And daily rounding on all patients.
Krista?
Bedside shift reporting.
Courtney?
Thank you cards upon discharge.
Here's a quote we came up that thought was pretty fitting for our training. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are now and change the ending. Rita's gonna come in and ask questions. Thanks for coming, and we have surveys for you.
But we have one more for you.
Oh, but
Can you guys solve this one? And you guys can work as a whole group.
Taking that internship in a remote mountain lab might not have been the best idea. Pulling that lever with the skull symbol just to see what it did probably wasn't so smart. But now is not the time for regrets, because you need to get away from these mutant zombies fast. With you are the janitor, the lab assistant, and the old professor. You've gotten a head start, but there's only one way to safety. Across an old road bridge spanning a massive gorge. You can dash across in a minute, while the lab assistant takes 2 minutes. The janitor is a bit slower and needs 5 minutes, and the professor takes a whole 10 minutes, holding onto the ropes every step of the way. By the professor's calculations, the zombies will catch up to you in just over 17 minutes. So you only have that much time to get everyone across and cut the ropes. Unfortunately, the bridge can only hold 2 people at a time. To make matters worse, it's so dark out that you can barely see, and the old lantern you grabbed on your way only illuminates a tiny area. Can you figure out a way to have everyone escape in time? Remember, no more than 2 people can cross the bridge together. Anyone crossing must either hold the lantern or stay right next to it, and any of you can safely wait in the dark on either side of the gorge. Most importantly, everyone must be safely across before the zombies arrive. Otherwise, the first zombie could step on the bridge while people are still on it. Finally, there are no tricks to use here. You can't swing across, use the bridge as a raft, or befriend the zombies.
Teamwork.
You also
Why can't you get piggyback rides? If someone's holding the lantern and the other person's holding the ropes, that's only 2 people.
You have to have a lantern each time,
the lantern has to go every time somebody's on the bridge.
so let's go back.
Trust me, it took a couple times watching the video before I finally got it. I'm like, ooh, okay.
You guys can work as a whole team.
So the fastest guy needs to go back, run the lantern back.
The old guy should go first with the fastest guy.
So that's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How many minutes do we have?
17.
And a minute for the guy to go back, that's
So that's
11.
11.
And then take the janitor
With who?
with the fast guy.
So that's 16.
Oh.
And the whole thing on fire.
Well, the old guy's gonna have to go first. He takes the longest.
You have to
So
have
if the fastest guy goes with the 5-minute guy.
That's
so
5 minutes.
5, and back is 1 is 6.
6.
And then it goes with the 2-minute guy,
7, 8.
That's 8.
And then back is 9.
9.
9.
And then the old man,
That's 20.
9. Ah, damn it.
Does there have to be 2 people at all times?
There
Yeah,
doesn't
'cause-
have to be, but
Because
there
there's
can't
only,
be no more.
is there only one lantern?
There's only one
One
lantern.
lantern.
Do you have to have the lantern?
Yes.
Oh, I think I got it. What if you do 10 and 5 together, they go down, and then 1 minute man goes down? So
How
10,
does 1 minute
11,
man
12.
get down there without the lantern?
Yeah.
You gotta have the lantern.
But you're getting closer.
The 5 and 10 go down together.
So what's the girl? What was her minute?
1.
1.
2, 5, and 10.
Oh, 1 and 2. So if the 5 and 10 go down together,
Somebody
and
has
5
to
comes back, that's
That's
15. Oh.
Well,
We need to throw the damn lantern back.
We've heard that one a lot too. Somebody even asked if they could roll it down the bridge.
If 2 and 10 go together, 2 goes back, that's 12. And then that's 18.
17.
Guess we have to go back.
Mhm.
just with the numbers. And you only have 17 minutes. It's impossible. There's 18 there. 15, 16, 17, 18.
It's not
So-
impossible.
How?
That's what you're supposed to figure out.
There's no like weird like you're
There's-
not gonna
there's
throw something weird.
Literally,
in
there's
there.
no tricks.
There's no tricks.
Okay.
So 5 and 10 go together.
That gives you 15
That's,
minutes
no,
right there.
5 and 10 go to, well,
No, 5 and
5
10
and
go
10
together, that's 10 minutes.
And
But
then
then
the
5
5's
has
gotta
to go back, so that's 15.
16,
Yeah, well,
So-
you sent like 10 and 2 across,
Yeah.
and 2 came back, and then you sent like 1 back with somebody, and left 2 over there, and then 1 came back, and then 1 and 2 went back.
Oh, you're on to something.
10.
But I'm not,
Well.
I'm writing all sorts of numbers in my figure, and I'm not confusing myself. I just thought I'd say that.
think we've only had 2 groups of 2 like ever get the answer through all the classes.
Oh, I think I got it, maybe. So if 10 and 1 go down, 1 comes back, that's 11. And then you send your 5, that's 6, your 5 and your 2. Oh shoot, no, I need it.
16.
Oh no,
16 better than 17.
But you still haven't got a guy on the other end yet.
without LMJ.
Waiting for the zombies.
That's when you just know.
You guys want to see the answer?
No,
Yes.
no, I do
Yeah.
not.
Walk out, Ashley. Walk out. Plug your ears. Close your eyes.
Majority rules. Answer it is.
Alyssa?
Hold on, let me try this one more time.
Okay. We'll give you a couple minutes.
Could they be on the bridge ready to go back at 17?
5 and 2.
I think your bigger numbers would have to go together.
Yeah, because then that'd be 5.
What if 1 and 2 went first? 1 came back and then sent 5 and 10, and then 2 came back and got 1.
Well,
All right.
And you wanted to give up.
1 and 2, what'd you say, 1 and 2 went?
We'll play it for you.
Okay. Good job, Cerise.
At first, it might seem like no matter what you do, you're just a minute or 2 short of time. But there is a way. The key is to minimize the time wasted by the 2 slowest people by having them cross together. And because you'll need to make a couple of return trips with the lantern, you'll want to have the fastest people available to do so. So, you and the lab assistant quickly run across with the lantern, though you have to slow down a bit to match her pace. After 2 minutes, both of you are across, and you, as the quickest, run back with the lantern. Only 3 minutes have passed. So far, so good. Now comes the hard part. The professor and the janitor take the lantern and cross together. This takes them 10 minutes, since the janitor has to slow down for the old professor, who keeps muttering that he probably shouldn't have given the zombies night vision. By the time they're across, there are only 4 minutes left, and you're still stuck on the wrong side of the bridge. But remember, the lab assistant has been waiting on the other side, and she's the second fastest of the group. So she grabs the lantern from the professor and runs back across to you. Now, with only 2 minutes left, the 2 of you make the final crossing. As you step on the far side of the gorge, you cut the ropes and collapse the bridge behind you, just in the nick of time. Maybe next summer you'll just stick to the library.
Good job.
Yes.
Good job, Cerise.
Good job.
Okay, with that, Rita's here to answer any questions that you guys have.
First, let's give our team a big round of applause. Thanks very much. Okay, there were a couple questions that came by groups before you, and so I'll answer those, and then you can bring on new questions, okay? So one of them was, what are we doing with the money that we saved by not hiring Custom Learning Solutions? And they put a bill up here. It was $57,300 the last year that we had them, and that is quite a bit of money, especially last year, when we ended our fiscal year, we were down like $500,000. So we decided not to go with them. And I'm going to say that probably making this decision, the board was able to see their way clear to go ahead and do a raise. I know it was late. We usually do it in November, and it was the end of February. But a 3% raise across the board for staff costs $97,000. So I think that helped that decision move forward. There's also some taxes that go into it, about $6,600. And also on these, the foundation helped with them. The years that we were with Custom Learning, they paid about half of it. And so that kind of feels like free money, but they have to choose wisely too where they spend their money, because that's money they don't have for education, and that's money they don't have for other pieces of equipment for us. So that's where the money was with that last year. But I do have good news. I mean, our finances, I think we're up about $300,000 so far. So that's really great news. I don't want you to go out here and say, oh, yeah, Rita said that we've lost this much, because we did, and it takes some time to recover, but this year's going much better. So any other questions or thoughts on that? And then the other question that they asked was, when staff are being disciplined, the executive committee and the managers in the facility, are they being treated the same way that the frontline staff is? And I am hopeful that they are. You know, disciplinary actions are never anything very fun to do. And I know some people think, well, you know, I went and told them about so-and-so and I didn't see anything. If you don't see a change in behavior, please speak up again. It doesn't mean that nothing was done, because all that information is kept confidential. If Bob complains about Terry, you know, Bob's not going to get an answer about what was done with Terry, because it's a confidential matter. You know, she may have some write-ups in her file. There may be a plan of correction that's in place, but Bob nor anybody else is going to see that. So. And I did have a disclaimer. Sometimes the physicians get a lot more strikes than anybody just saying that. So any other questions on that, or any new questions that came to you as you were training?